Hello, everybody. This is Candide Bicono. Welcome to our webinar today, openQRM Enterprise MultiCloud on Amazon EC2. With me again, of course, is Matt. He's going to take care of the technical part later on. Quick agenda for today, Amazon EC2 plugin. We have a new plugin for openQRM Enterprise that we've developed. Then we move over to the benefits as such, why we have the plugin, quick technical view on that, and of course, as usual, the live demos so you actually can see how our plugin works. Matt, I'll just hand over to you.
Okay, hello, this is Matt Reichenberg from openQRM Enterprise. You may have known that we have already an Amazon integration before, but we now have completely revamped this integration with EC2. There are several new features and interesting functions which I would like to show you today. So first, the plugin itself provides infrastructure as a service. That means we integrate Amazon with standard APIs and provide you with components for a software-defined data center. The second is it provides for Linux and, of course, Windows operating system on Amazon EC2 software as a service model where we'll come to this part more detail later, where you can define your specific software custom applications which are going automatically deployed on either Windows or Linux instances. There are the typical data management functions and automations included, which are based on the openQRM Enterprise Hyper-Convergent framework. That means the EC2 integration, of course, benefits from other features which are already existing in openQRM. For example, automatic monitoring and application deployment. And more details on this later on a specific slide. There is also the usual VM management included. That means we treat our EC2 as another resource provider for openQRM, which is for openQRM not very much different from a vSphere environment or a KVM virtualization host or Xen virtualization environment. That means the administrator, of course, can also manually treat, configure, administrate virtual machines on Amazon EC2, while there is, on the other hand, the next step is a complete customer self-service. That means the openQRM private cloud can be a sub-cloud of EC2 and provide all those services for your specific customers and end users. Coming to the benefits, why exactly we have focused on the Amazon integration right now and vamped it up with lots of new interesting features and security applications, is that we want you to be able to easily expand or minimize your infrastructure. The total cost of ownership is always in the cloud model, pay as you go. That means you only pay the amount of resources which you really need at a specific time. With openQRM, you can easily expand your existing infrastructure if you have one, which is in-house, with resources from Amazon EC2, like data center resources, like EC2 instances or networks or virtual private clouds, and run this in parallel. This is provided by the hybrid cloud features of openQRM. We're not limited to Amazon when it comes to hybrid cloud. Of course, we have a new Azure integration, and we're also looking into private cloud integrations with OpenStack, which are existing in openQRM some time already. We're focused on Amazon because it's the most reliable, secure, and globally available cloud computing infrastructure right now, and it's standard for public cloud computing. Economically, pay only for use. I explained this already, so we skip this step here. We have detected there's a new options for new revenue streams and business models on behalf of what we are doing with Amazon EC2 to sub-cloud it as a private cloud for you specific customers when it comes to the application deployment. In Amazon EC2, we have a fully software-defined data centers. That means everything what we are doing is on behalf of the standard Amazon API. The benefit for you, the openQRM controller can be installed within Amazon, so there are actually no initial own hardware costs when you want to start with the private cloud. There's also a difference if you have your own infrastructure in-house or using a secure private infrastructure from Amazon. You have not really ongoing costs for own hardware administration and maintenance. So if something breaks, it's the responsibility of Amazon to fix this fast. That means If your application or if your products are receiving a good hype in your business, you are able to scale as you go. Not only with more performance and more machines, also you can easily reduce your infrastructure to the exact amount of what power and what performance do you need for your current applications. The biggest benefit what we see is actually coming through the automatic application deployment, monitoring, and statistics, which openQRM brings for the Amazon EC2 environment, and especially the application deployment for Linux and for Windows is now able to turn any standalone software into software as a service based on the private cloud on top of the Amazon public cloud. Or I should better say based on your private cloud based on top of EC2. This is a great option for all kinds of software developer developing any kind of custom software running as a standalone software or as a server administration software on a system. This can be easily now turned into software as a service by just hooking it up into the application deployment in openQRM and making this a cloud product. The application itself becomes a private cloud product in your own cloud and will be automatically provisioned for your end users if they select the application.
Now, just a quick view here on the benefits of software as a service. What you see here is a view of the business model. We have the two models, the traditional model, the software vendor sales, meaning a software vendor offers applications per license, per download, and additional revenue stream is the software support. What this means on the customer side is, of course, that the software needs to be purchased, and accordingly, the infrastructure also needs to be acquired. And then we have the maintenance, updates, the support. So the customer invests in software, IT, and has high operative costs for ongoing equipment, licensed personnel. The alternative, software as a service. The software use is one part revenue, the support as before, but additionally provisioning and the actual infrastructure. So the customer side looks at the whole situation not with a large investment, but only the investment in the actual operative cost there. So the customer invests in the software use, which includes the whole infrastructure. Maintenance costs are included, updates are included, always on the newest versions, hardware support, software support, and not just included, but in a much more effective way than formerly possible in most cases. And this means lower TCO and a lower cost per actual hour. There's no idle time on these applications. This leads to a somewhat wider customer base. The customer base that might not be able to invest in the infrastructure or might not be willing to invest in the infrastructure and the high software fee, but on the other hand, would have easier access to software as a service. So this brings a diverse revenue stream on the software vendor side.
I'm now going on with the technical view. So we, of course, are using the standard Amazon EC2 APIs, which are available from Amazon itself to integrate the different provisioning actions in openQRM and automate them. There's also the option to have the administrator manually created and administrator instances by himself, and there's a cloud service on top of that. It means there are actually two technical parts which are integrated in openQRM seamlessly. And the good thing is the only thing it requires is an Amazon account. On behalf of this Amazon account, your private cloud as a sub-cloud of Amazon EC2 will be running, and Amazon will charge on behalf of your Amazon account, of course, for creating instances there. And you get your charge back from your custom users, your end users, by the openQRM billing system, which is integrated in the openQRM private cloud. One thing is, people ask how secure my data will be or my customers will be on Amazon EC2. If you're looking at companies with their own data centers, they have to keep track of all the security and documentation issues on behalf of their own infrastructure. If you look at Amazon or at other big public clouds like Azure or Rackspace, they are professionals. Their core business to provide those data center services other companies which have a different core business, and the IT is just there to run their core business. So you have to decide if you focus more on your actually core business, or if you need to focus more on your own IT to keep the security standards. So actually, we can say it's actually more efficient or more secure to run things in an Amazon environment. But we did, especially about the security, we have some different options on top of that. There are lots of services in openQRM which are integrated in a generic way so that they provide their features for all kinds of different virtualization technologies and private and public cloud providers, which are treated in the same way in openQRM as a resource provider. That means different actions are generically available, integrated also for the Amazon EC2 Cloud, which are, for example, automatic system statistics with collectd. There's automatic service monitoring based on Nagios or Ichinga. Application deployment is based on Puppet when this is a Linux instance, and custom deployment mechanism for the Windows application deployment. The desktop access, so both Linux and Windows systems are available with completely installed desktop in the openQRM Cloud. So there's a VNC and MDP Connect. For Linux instances, web login, we have no VNC, which means you can SSH with your web browser into the instance. You don't actually need to open a terminal. For your private cloud users, that means for the openQRM private cloud users, there is also easy user login configured with public and private keys. User is being pre-configured and set password for accessing the systems in an easy way. This is also available for Linux and Windows instances. The most interesting part is actually the last part. In Amazon EC2, there is the option to create security groups, which are called virtual private clouds. They have an own access environment. Those VPCs have their own networks. And we have adapted the openQRM cloud provisioning. openQRM configures one virtual private cloud per user. Each cloud user requesting an instance from your private cloud based on top of the Amazon EC2 Cloud will get a complete own secure environment in the Amazon EC2 infrastructure, completely automatically configured. So each machine he adds will automatically be in member of this security environment. This is a great enhancement for production environments and advanced security for the end users of the system. All kinds of cloud features for you as the cloud administrators simply being put on top of Amazon EC2 without having the needs of an own infrastructure. So we come to a diagram which explains more how the whole openQRM cloud on top of Amazon EC2 works. On top of the Amazon cloud, openQRM controls the EC2 cloud based on a cloud customer portal for your end users. The instances will be provisioned in own virtual private cloud environment, which is called VPC in Amazon per openQRM cloud user. The cloud user administrator you see on the bottom left is receiving the revenue stream from the cloud end users. It's basically reselling the Amazon EC2 infrastructure with the added value services based on openQRM. The next model, this whole application stack is also available as a reseller option for your end users. That means you can stack openQRM Cloud one level further by selling openQRM Enterprise Private Cloud to your end users, which is basically just an application for the base openQRM Cloud. So what happens then, your end users working on your private openQRM Enterprise Cloud on top of Amazon EC2 actually can order an openQRM Enterprise Private Cloud by themselves and act as a further reseller of your applications. We come down to a live demonstration. So I've prepared a few systems on one of our QA servers to show you the new features. One of our servers here in our development department. You see we have different kinds of virtualization technologies integrated in this server. This is the new Amazon Cloud plugin. We can see the backend administration for the cloud administrator. There are all kinds of actions available for the cloud administrator. When it comes to the openQRM Cloud, we have configured it with several products here. And one of the products we have provided is an Amazon EC2 instance, which integrates with the Amazon plugin to run these instances on openQRM. When it comes to application deployment, you can have all kinds of different applications for Linux and for Windows created as a cloud product in openQRM, then available for the end users to be selected and requested from your private cloud. So I should quickly switch over to the cloud portal. This is the next tab over here. This is the openQRM cloud portal, where we can see there are actually 2 instances running already. There are several limits which we can set. And for creating a new instance, those are the products which we have just configured on the administrative side to be a cloud product in the openQRM Enterprise Private Cloud. To request a new instance, it's quite easy. I've prepared some ready profiles for that, or we can just simply select, I would like to have an EC2 instance, and select from some predefined images by the cloud administrator. Of course, then users can select based on the operating system different applications. So with the Windows systems, we can have automatically install MySQL on this, for example. Those applications are completely customizable. That means it's up to you, when you're an application or software developer, to simply define your application either as a Puppet recipe or as a Windows automatic deployment recipe. They become a product in the openQRM cloud, which means your software, your standalone software, with a click becomes software as a service, where it's being delivered with an existing infrastructure based on the Amazon EC2 Cloud. So for example, if we would like to have a new instance here, we could self-define predefined configurations as profiles. And I, for example, define a profile named Ubuntu, which actually includes a web server application. And to run the system on Amazon based on my custom private cloud account on the openQRM Enterprise Cloud, I simply can click submit. We see there are actually 2 systems already running here. This is provisioned in the same way. When the instances are created on Amazon and ready, active for login, openQRM will send a mail to the users. Those are the 2 mails I received while requesting the systems just ordered before. It's taking a few minutes to create those instances on Amazon and to pre-configure them. So for Linux system, you get a root user and a password, and for Windows systems, you get an administrator user and a password. The users are able to log into their own systems. I've prepared this also for the Linux systems. We could also use the integrated SSH term. It's a self-signed certificate. Yes, we are sure. This provides us with a login prompt where we could now log into the system with the credentials just received by mail. We can also use the automatic desktop deployment for that. So actually the system is available through VNC. And I've prepared this already here. It's 10.10.1 network within the virtual private cloud environment on Amazon 2, created for me as a specific cloud user of openQRM. I can show you this a bit more in detail. So just remember, it's 10.10.166, it's the Linux box. If we go to the Amazon console here, actually see we have 2 instances running here. Yeah. Okay. Actually 3, and let's quickly see. This is the 10.10.166. This is the Linux box, basically. We just logged in via VNC. It's created in this specific virtual private network with a custom subnet within this virtual private cloud. If we see the other instances here, this, for example, is the Windows system. It's within the same virtual private cloud environment in EC2, so it's a secure access area which is just created for me personally as a private cloud user of openQRM. This is what I just requested some minutes before, is within this private cloud network. So for every user, it creates a really secure environment for the own instances, and the option, of course, that they can communicate with each other within this user-based virtual private cloud environment. Okay, so the Windows system actually, this is the second one, the 158. I've also prepared this here. We have an RDP Connect. So this is actually the EC2 instance I just ordered from openQRM and logged in before. And it's simply usable and pre-configured, also with the custom application I selected. So it's a great option for you, again, to turn any service into software as a service. That's basically it. I want to thank you very much for watching. Thanks for your time. This was Amazon EC2 MultiCloud with openQRM. And if you'd like to have more information, please contact us or check our website at openqrmenterprise.com. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.